Episode 6 with Jack Cattell. I hope you all enjoyed last week's episode with Kintsugi Tiger. I certainly enjoyed recording with them, and hopefully they enjoyed recording with me. And yeah, please, if you haven't already, check it out, give it a listen, and give it like and that. And it is a long one. It's 1 hour 30, but it will brighten your day because, like, with all that's going on, it's just nice to listen to, have a laugh. And we do mention that subject a bit with what's going on in the world at the moment, but yeah, you have to joke about it, or unless it's going to be a depressing time for all of us. Yeah, and also I hope you all enjoyed the gig at Stadius Records. Unfortunately I couldn't get there, so I'm sorry about that, Kintsugi Tiger. And I just want to say the Victoria gig with Kintsugi Tiger is postponed, and I think, I don't know about dates, but I think if you keep in tune, follow them on Instagram, they'll bring out a new date the gig might happen on. Unfortunately, this is happening a lot now in Birmingham, in the West Midlands, because like this horrible thing that's going round, and it's so unfortunate because I'm sure all of us are going to miss going to gigs and going to pubs and meeting mates and that, but like, yeah, we have to all self-isolate for our own safety, and everyone stay safe and get listening to Crashin podcast. For sure everyone will have the time now to listen to it, so if you're bored, switch on the podcast, give us a like and a share to family and friends who like their music, and share to anyone. And yeah, just hopefully get this podcast out there. So today I'm with Jack Cattell. We get talking a bit about his music career and the band and gigs, but like with this shite going around, I pretty doubt anything will be happening in the upcoming month, but maybe hopefully it will pass over after that. So let's stop talking about that and pass it over to Jack Cattell. Hello, episode 6 of Crashin podcast, I think, and today I'm with Jack Cattell. Say hello.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm alright, are you?
I'm good, thanks mate.
Yeah, Little Bird just told me that you got nominated for Rising Star and what was
Ones
it?
to watch and
yeah,
Rising
Ones
Star,
to watch, yeah.
The BMAs.
Yeah, on the BMAs.
Yeah, really happy with that. Me and the band have worked hard this year.
Yeah.
Since our first gig in November, things seem to have took off quite well for us, so we're happy. We're glad we've got some recognition. You know, I don't think the award necessarily means that much in the grand scheme of things, but obviously it's nice to be nominated. And we take it as a pat on the back from the scene that, you know, we're clearly doing quite well and people are taking notice now, which is what we want.
Have you done any recent gigs, Sam?
I can't remember when our last gig was. When was our last gig? February. It was February at Dead Wax in Dibber.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to be the Sunflower Lounge, but unfortunately we got double booked. I know the Future Sound project are very, very busy.
Yeah.
Very, very busy promoting everything, so it's easy to get double booked on those sort of things. But yeah, we worked it out. We got a few people down to Deadwax, and we had the BBC introducing people come down again.
Bad,
Tim Senna and Harry from BBC Introducing came down to watch us. It was a really good night. We had a class support bill, and I'm sure you'll know Ryan Evans.
Oh, definitely.
Quite a big Wolverhampton lad.
I always see him at like nearly every gig now. Saw him at Stiff Little Fingers, Alex Arm the other week.
Yeah, he's everywhere, man.
Yeah,
he's everywhere.
He's getting everywhere. Good on him, to be fair.
So he should be. I mean, he's class, and we were lucky enough to have him supporting us on that night. And I mean, what a talent, man! What a talent.
Yeah. He was on the podcast as well, not long back.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, when he played at Blossoms. But like, I'm lost now. But I didn't want it. So I was going to talk about Deadwax. So like, what's your thoughts on Deadwax?
I love
the venue.
I love it, man. I think the aesthetic there downstairs is class, and upstairs, I think the room up there is fucking phenomenal, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a proper venue. It is like a proper venue. I mean, the Sunflower Lounge is great, and I think it's probably my favourite venue in Birmingham. But Deadwax it's got to be up there, man. It's so professional.
I haven't been there yet.
You've not been there?
No.
Oh, mate, you need to get down there.
No,
honestly.
It's just always been one of those venues that intrigue me because they play vinyl, don't they?
They do play vinyl there, yeah. It's like downstairs is just full of vinyls. We've got cupboards and cupboards full of vinyl. It's brilliant. Like, I do love it. I was a bit umming and ahhing about it when I first heard about it. I didn't know how well it was going to do, especially being in Digbeth. I thought there's quite a lot of good venues around Digbeth. Yeah. So is it going to do that well? Is it going to take off? But seeing what they've done with the place, it was Carlo from Birmingham Promoters who got me in there. He got me to play the opening weekend there, and I didn't really know what to expect. But yes, class, mate.
But they have gigs nearly every week as well.
They do,
yes. And free events.
It's very prominent, man. It's very. I know the Future Sound Project are down there, and they put on a lot of events as well. Yeah. Birmingham Promoters put on a lot of events there as well. So they've got the two big promoters in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Both doing lots of gigs there.
The Future Sound Project's Walls as well, isn't it?
Yeah, they do a few things in Wolverhampton. I think they do the Slade rooms.
Yeah. I think I've been to one of their Slade room gigs. So I don't remember.
Yeah, I think that was Crest Glider.
Yeah. I haven't been to that one, but I know I think I've been to one in the past, but
I can't remember who else they've had. I know Crest Glider did one in Wolverhampton, the Slade rooms, but I mean that's just another Wolverhampton band that are killing it.
Yeah.
I mean, the class, man.
So let's talk about like the start of your music career. So how did it all come about? What made you motivated to be in a band or writing songs?
To be honest, I wasn't until I was about 13, 14. I mean, my dad and my brother have played instruments since they were younger, and I've always had guitars around the house, or basses, or whatever musical instrument it may be around the house. And yeah, I was so adamant against learning guitar that I picked up bass, and I loved it. I used to play it every day, as much as I could, probably 3 or 4 hours a day, and just never put it down. And then it got to a point where I was playing in a band with another local lad called David Young, and for whatever reason that didn't work out. Started writing a few of my own tunes, but I couldn't really sing and play bass at the same time, or the sound wasn't big enough to go out and play bass and sing on your own. So I started learning how to play guitar, learned a few chords, and funnily enough there's still the same 3 chords that I used today.
It's like some of the best songs though, like all 3 chords, 2 chords as well.
My view is that a lot of good music is all about the lyrics. You can always have the big riffs, and you sort of stuff like Sweet Child of Mine. I mean, it's famous for its guitar riff. But the lyrics in that as well speak to so many people, man. Like if the lyrics were crap in that song, that riff would mean nothing. I don't believe. I know it's a matter of opinion.
It's one of those riffs you're like, it's always even if you don't know Guns N' Roses, it's a familiar riff.
Yeah, you know that riff. Even if someone says Sweet Child of Mine, you can probably imitate that riff more than you can sing the words. So, in my opinion, that's what I focus on in my songs. I focus on the lyrics, and obviously the chords and whatnot, and the sound around it all matter as well. But yeah, I do put a lot of focus into my lyrics, and I found it hard when I first started writing songs. I found it really, really tough. Like it was just that cliche boy meets girl song when you're trying to chase the girl, and that's part of the reason why I started playing guitar.
Exactly.
So I was a bit of a loser at school.
I think everyone's not.
I can agree with you.
Yeah.
That one.
And I thought, I'll learn how to play guitar. Maybe that'll swing some girls for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it worked out all right for me in the end because I've started to pave my way for a career in it. So
Yeah.
can't complain at the moment. Can't
I
complain.
noticed with most of your songs, like, it got a very blues inspiration. Like,
Yeah.
Are you into like blues music and all that?
Not necessarily blues per se, but
Yeah.
old school rock and roll.
Yeah,
100%.
yeah.
So Chuck Berry, brought up on Chuck Berry and like.
Rhythm and blues.
Yeah, I'd say Chuck Berry, Johnny Cash, and that sort of era. Bit of Elvis. Some of Elvis's stuff. I'm not a massive fan of.
Yeah.
But, you know, the famous ones.
Obviously.
In the Ghetto is my favourite Elvis song.
Yeah,
Love in the Ghetto. I think it's a class song. But yeah, the sort of old school rhythm and blues.
Yeah.
And rock and roll, and then went up to sort of REM, and so I was brought up on quite old-fashioned music. My dad always made sure that I was listening to that sort of stuff because what he said was in the charts at the time was shit. Even though I liked bands.
So the charts were good in the 60s and all that.
I like the boy bands that were around when I was little as well. Stuff like Busted and McFly.
Yeah.
I still listen to a bit of that now. I know I'm probably ruining my credibility a little bit here, but I went to see Busted when I was little.
Guilty pleasure.
Yeah, it's a guilty pleasure, but they still had some good songs. I know it's a bit cliche, but they still had some good songs.
It's a bit like ABBA.
Yeah, no, I love ABBA.
Yeah,
no, I love
guilty
ABBA.
pleasure for me, to be fair.
I think they're brilliant. I don't even think that's a guilty pleasure, mate, honestly.
No, man.
I love ABBA, I think they're class. I know there's a lot of people who give stick to ABBA, but
I wouldn't go out to people and go, oh, I fucking love ABBA. I wouldn't go to a gig and that to see them, but I would listen to their music and all that.
No, I think ABBA are class, man. Foot tapper, isn't it? You can't listen to ABBA and not tap your foot.
True. Yeah.
Like, they are the perfect band. I think the thing that's tainted ABBA a little bit is the way that Eurovision's gone.
Yeah.
And everyone links ABBA to Eurovision. But Eurovision wasn't like it is today when they were playing Eurovision. So yeah, I think ABBA are class, mate. Yeah. I genuinely think ABBA are class. I don't think that's a guilty pleasure at all. I think you should just admit it.
So who's the other band members in the band, the bass player and the...
So the bass player is Ali, Alison Knott, who I poached from... I got her for the Good Old Mr Daniels music video.
Yeah.
Because I put an advert out on Facebook saying, is there any double bass players about? Because for the aesthetic of the video, I wanted it to be that sort of Johnny Cash vibe. Yeah. And we filmed it at the Botanist downstairs, and she was recommended to me by a drummer who used to drum for me in my band, called Jake Allen. So I messaged him and said, do you know any double bass players going? And she was recommended to me. She came down for the music video, and then I've been looking at getting a band together for quite a while. It hasn't worked out with a few musicians that I've had in the past. Jake Allen being one of them. I mean, it wasn't for a falling out or anything. He was just super busy doing pitch shows for musicals and stuff. I mean, phenomenal drummer, phenomenal drummer, really good drummer, and luckily landed on a drummer that's just as good in Josh Reed. And again, him and Ali know each other from university. They both go to Wolves Uni and study music. So they're very, very, very talented musicians who are both at uni today, so couldn't come down, which is a shame. But yeah, very talented musicians and younger than me as well. And Ali especially. I mean, being a bass player, I know nothing about drums, so. You know, a drummer could come to me and say that Josh is rubbish, and I'd shoot him down. I'd say, well, he isn't. He's clearly a talented drummer, but I wouldn't have like a reason why, like with Josh, because I know nothing about drumming. And Josh will tell you the same. I know nothing about drumming. Like he'll come to me in a rehearsal and he'll say, well, what do you want me to play for this? And I'm just like, can you play the drums, please? So I've got no idea. I've got ideas in my head, but I don't know how to explain it to you. Whereas with Ali, like I grew up playing bass. She blows me out the water. And it's really annoying because I think that I'm quite a good bass player. And I've always thought that I'm pretty good at bass, but she's just made me look amateur.
Have you ever played bass in any of your songs and that?
I write a lot of songs off bass lines. Still write a lot of songs off bass lines, so stuff like Just Keep Trucking On. I think you'll be able to figure out from the start of that song, despite the chords playing that riff,
Yeah.
It started on a bass line. We've got Love Me, which is our current single, which started off on a bass line, and there's a few others as well. There's a few others that we've got that are unreleased that I've been writing that start off on bass lines, because that type of music is what gets people moving.
Yeah.
Gets people jumping and gets people in the groove.
Like dancey music, like
Yeah.
it's like a bit old style dancing music, to be fair.
Yeah, pretty much, and I think that was sort of revitalised by bands like Arctic Monkeys coming through. And then a band called The Enemy as well. I think not prominent bass lines, but if you listen to it deeply enough, it is just it's very simple music.
Yeah.
But the bass line sort of drives it, and that's the sound we're kind of pushing towards now. Because I did start off when I was on my own writing a lot of acoustic tunes. But I'm in a phase of writing where it's starting to get more electric and
more rock and roll.
Yeah, a bit more indie now.
Yeah.
So it's getting to that stage where we're sort of finding our sound and locking in now, and the songs keep reeling off in the same sort of fashion.
Yeah. So how long have you three as a group known each other?
We've known each other since July last year, I think.
Yeah.
Might have been August. Obviously, I knew Ali from the Mr. Daniels music video, and then Josh was suggested to me as a drummer through a friend. We had a rehearsal with Josh and another bass player before I got Ali involved.
Yeah.
And that didn't go so well. We just didn't gel. Like the three of us together, we didn't gel. But I felt like me and Josh did, and we were kind of on the same sort of wavelength when it was coming to writing and playing the tunes. Whereas the bass player at the time, unfortunately, lovely lad, I met him at uni, cracking bass player as well. But yeah, I don't think he just gelled into us. I don't think he was the right fit.
Kind of need someone that's the same interests and
similar interests, but just the groove just wasn't there. Like we didn't lock in like initially. And as soon as I got Ali in, that was different, and you could see the difference as well, because we got in our first rehearsal, which I believe was the end of July last year. We've got 3 songs pretty much finished and ready to go. So and then we had our first gig in November. So we've known each other since July. But yeah, we just clicked straight away. Like the 3 of us together, we just clicked straight away. It didn't feel awkward. It didn't feel like they were strangers. And in the past, I've been quite bad at meeting new people. I'm quite anxious, quite shy. But it didn't feel like that. It felt like people that I'd knew for years.
So let's talk about your latest single. Oh, you got a call?
No, I'm just putting it on silent because it's going off.
Oh, don't worry.
There we go.
Let's talk about your latest single,
Yes.
Love Me. So what was that like recording that?
Recording it was brilliant. I mean, I've had Love Me in my armoury for quite a while. We've been sitting on it, playing it at live shows, and it's gone down really well, and people have always been asking about it when we're going to record it. So to go in and record it was a lot of fun. Like when we play it live, we have a lot of solos in it. So we had to strip them out to make it radio friendly. Because that's the main thing. When you're recording music, you need to make sure it's radio friendly.
A radio edit as well. Sometimes I do a radio edit, and
luckily with the nature of the song, there was no swearing in it, so we didn't necessarily have to make a radio edit. But we did edit all the solos that we do for show on a live night.
So
out of that,
what you play on Spotify is completely different to like your live shows and that.
It's still the same track, but the breakdown section in that song where there's it just kind of cuts out and there's a bit of a guitar solo, and it just drops down to me and Ali on bass, and me playing just single notes. That section we sort of introduced the band, because it's usually our penultimate song, so it's like an introduce the band section. Ali will do a bass solo, Josh will do a drum solo, I'll do a guitar solo. So we had to make sure we cut all that out when we were recording it, but it was so much fun to record because it's such a good song, and there's a lot of creativity that can go into it. So when we went in, it was pretty simple. We had a pretty simple background to it. So we recorded all the parts that we already knew we were going to record, and Josh brought in one of his good mates, Paul Meredith, to play some lead guitar on it. And the ideas he had that he come up with were top class. We've got some really nice guitar on the end of this track now to sort of bring it all to a crescendo at the end. Sam Stringer, who is from the Amp Studio, who recorded it, the producer, he had some good ideas for backing vocals along with Josh, and we kind of worked them out together. And then I sang them and had to put my balls in a clamp to reach some of them notes because they were bloody high, man. And it was so much fun to record because there was so much that we could do with it, and in fact we had to make sure that we didn't overdo it. I think that was the thing that we really drove home to Sam in the studio. We were like, we want some more stuff on it, but we don't want to overdo it, because if it's overproduced we'll ruin it. But if it's empty, then that'll ruin it as well.
Do you reckon that's like your biggest track you'd released so far? Or?
So far, yeah. Like 100%. I think we get better every time that we record. I think the EP was good. Royal Highness, especially on the EP, sounded mega. And I wanted to make sure we followed a similar style to what we did with Royal Highness with Love Me. So there's still synthesizers in Love Me as well, which there are in Royal Highness. And again, I was really proud of that, and really proud of the way that we did the EP. But to come on to Love Me, I think the fact that I had Josh and Ali in the studio with me this time really helped, because it brings three minds together. Three minds are better than one.
It's like they play their bit and it just comes together, doesn't it?
Well, exactly, because you can get wrapped up in it as well, because obviously I wrote it.
You don't want to seem to like take over and all that. Like.
Yeah, I don't want to take over, but also I wrote it so I can be a bit narrow-minded and think, oh, this is finished. Whereas if I've got Ali saying, well, I could do this, or Josh saying I could do this, or even Sam suggesting to us that, well, why don't you do this instead? Like, it just gives you fresh ideas, and when you bring in all your ideas together, you're going to have a better product at the end of it.
So, talking about EPs, have you got anything in the future coming up, like any EPs or?
We're just focusing on singles at the moment, I think. It's a lot of...
Any recorded yet?
We've got another one recorded. We recorded another one with Love Me when we went into the studio in January, called London Town, which is a bit of a different vibe, which I ummed and ahed a bit about that, because obviously we've got the last three singles have been Your Royal Highness, Cowboy Blues and Love Me, which is out now. They've all been sort of high pace, in your face sort of tracks, and this is a bit more back to my roots, where it's a bit more acoustic, but it's a song about a time in my life that I'm going through right now, where my girlfriend's just accepted a job in London and we're living away from each other. So it's a song that means a lot to me. It's got a lot of personal value. And I think it's a good tune. Like, don't get me wrong, I think it's a Clash tune, and I think the lyrics in it are probably some of my best. But it's just, now that we've got this sort of sound that we're going towards, it's just questionable what people are going to think of it, and that's going to be the interesting thing, how it's perceived. Because obviously bands like the Claws released Where Are You Now, and that's done really well for them, despite the fact that it sounds very little like a Claws tune.
Well, you need a bit of difference as well.
You do. You need to be versatile, man, because otherwise, if you stick to one sound, you're going to get found out at some point. Because there's always going to be a new band coming up that are better than you. Like, there's always going to be a band around the corner that are better than you. So if you've got two strings to your bow, instead of just being able to play these heavy hitting in your face tracks, and especially for live shows as well, it means you can just break it down a little bit and change it up.
Middle type song, then bring it back up then.
I mean, we played London Town at Dead Wax, and we played it sort of mid set. I think it was 5th or 6th in the set.
It took well as well.
It was took really well, really, really well. Played it on 12 string, so and it just added a bit of a different vibe to it. And I think that's what we've got that not a lot of other bands can't do, but that some of the other bands that are around our level can't do. We can change it up, and we can change up the style. And again, taking inspiration from bands like the Claws and Candid, who are both doing really, really well at the moment. They've done similar things. Candid have just released Rob has just released Through All the Fighting on SoundCloud, and that's done really well and took really well. So we're hoping that London Town will have the same effect when that's released in potentially April or May.
So let's talk about your gigs and that. Can you recall like your first ever gig?
I can, yeah.
What
it was an open mic at a real dive-in in Walsall. I've been toying about doing open mics for quite a while, and I've got a few friends that I used to sort of Skype with and show them new ideas that I've come up with and new songs that I've come up with, and have a bit of a sing-song with them. And one of my best friends is a girl called Rhea, I've known since I was 4. And she used to work at this bar in Warsaw called MAP, something performance. I can't remember what what MAP stood for, but it was called MAP, and it was an open mic, and I was the only one that turned up to play. So I kind of had to play. And I was shitting myself. I can swear on this, can't I?
Oh yeah, you can swear.
I was shitting myself. Yeah, so absolutely shitting myself.
What was your nerves like compared like to that first ever gig and now?
The only time I've got remotely nervous in the past probably 2 years playing was the Wolves promotion party. Because they did that party in the park for when Wolves got promoted to the Prem. And Jason Forrest, who I was good friends with at the time, worked at Wolves, and he got me in on that. And I kind of turned up. I knew that the tickets had sold out for it, and that there was going to be 35,000 people there. But when you hear that number, you think, no, there ain't going to be that many on this. Like looking at the stage, there isn't going to be. Everyone's going to be dotted around. It'll probably look like 200, 300 people, which I've played to before at venues like the Robin. And I walked out and I couldn't see the back of the crowd, and until I strummed that first chord, I was like, okay, get me off.
It's just, I don't know, like, do you have a way of like ignoring, like stopping your nerve, like ignoring the audience type thing? Like,
not really, no. I like to get the audience involved. I'm sure you've seen.
I saw you at the Alex Owen gig.
Discover Birmingham, wasn't it? Yeah, I like to get the audience involved. So,
some bands like they put glasses on and that's like.
I don't understand that. I think people that try and say you've got to ignore the crowd and how many people are there, or focus on a spot at the back of the room. I don't think about that, because I like to get the crowd involved. You know, they've paid their money to come and see me and come and see a show. Like, they've not just come to hear me play some tunes, because they can sit at home and listen to me on Spotify if they want to do that. So they've come to see a show, they've come to see a performance. I like to have that camaraderie with them, and that bit of give and take with them. Whereas I can take the mick out of them. They can give me some back.
It's a bit more of a comfy environment as well. Like, if you involve everyone in that.
It is, and like I'd never, for any musicians coming up, I'd never say the way to get around nerves is to ignore the crowd. You've just got to be. You get to a point where if you do so many gigs, you'll be confident enough in your own ability that it's not going to phase you. And I'm at that point now that I've done so many gigs that every gig is just another one. It is just another one.
It's like sometimes you can find it a bit boring. You just see a band play guitar and don't really say much, or don't really involve the audience. So
I think that's what differentiates the cream of the crop from your bog standard. I think you've got to have that. You've got to have that give and take with the crowd. You've got to have good music. Obviously, you've got to have good music, but you've got to have that performance as well, because it is a performing art. It's not
all
just
the big bands like Sex Pistols and that. They got big off the way their attitude and the way they are with the audience.
Arctic Monkeys. It's exactly the same. Like Liam Gallagher. You know, I've heard people say in the past, Liam Gallagher's got no personality on stage. All he does is stand there with his arms behind his back and sings the songs. But
now he's inviting people on stage with him.
But that is the personality, though. Like, people go because they know that Liam's just going to stand there.
You
with
want
his
a bit of
arms
attitude
behind
as well.
Yeah, and that's exactly what he's got. It's a bit different from like Brandon Flowers from the Killers. He's out there.
It's a bit of a different vibe though as well, the Killers.
Yeah, it is.
It's like a bit with Oasis. He's a bit more rock and roll, big cool type phase, and like the Killers is more like all together now,
Yeah.
like lovey-dovey.
Like I say, you can do stage presence in so many ways, and that's what I was saying there. The differentiation between those two, but both are legendary frontmen,
Yeah.
but they do it in different ways. Like everyone knows what they're going to get from
Yeah,
Liam,
I know, yeah.
and they're going to get that
You get what you
attitude.
pay for.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
And I mean, no one else does it like Liam. Like no one else could stand on a stage with his arms behind his back and get the reaction that Liam Gallagher
Or
does.
Morrissey as well. That's very different.
Morrissey is very different, yeah.
With flowers and all that.
Yeah,
on
and
stage.
he's very strange, isn't he, Morrissey? Very, very strange guy.
Yeah, good musician that,
He's a very good musician.
but some people hate him at the moment.
Yeah. He's still a good musician though, isn't he?
Yeah, that's what I say.
As a person, like you can hate him as much as you want, but he's still a good musician.
You
He's
can't
still
deny
good
he's
at what
good.
he does.
But what do you love the most about like gigs and all that?
I like playing. I like playing live. I love playing live. I love having that sort of the crack with people in the audience, because you never know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
I always get heckled by my mum. Always get heckled by my mum. So I've come to know how to deal with that one. But you'll always get sort of you'll always get someone in a crowd that screams the loudest.
Yeah.
So when I do sort of a track called Sunshine, we have a call and response section in that, and you'll always have that one person who screams it back to you, and I love picking that person out and ripping them apart, and they'll have a bit back at me, and that back and forth.
what you want, man.
Like I just love the atmosphere. Like I've never been funny, like a comedian funny anyway. So, but again, I love that. I love watching comedians who get heckled and they just come back like that.
Yeah.
Like Peter Kay is so good at it.
Oh, I know, yeah.
And Jimmy Carr as well. Jimmy Carr's got a show on Netflix where he opens it up to get heckled from the audience, and he's got comebacks for everything.
Yeah.
It's brilliant. Like
Yeah.
I just love that camaraderie and that crack.
Found me on the street. Just think of all the things that I've seen. While you worn that crown upon your head, I had to sell the jewels for money instead. Well, don't talk about old me, 'cause I've changed. You're all I need, and everything I want from my dreams. All I got will never be enough without you. You're all you highness, baby. I need love from you. I know you. You walk the walk and you talk the talk. There's no messing with you. You don't play no games. You're a straight talking girl, and that is why you're gonna rule the world. Don't talk about old me, 'cause I've changed. You're all I need, and everything I want from my dreams. All I got will never be enough without you. You're all you highness, baby. I need love from you. Well, I bow before you, down on my knees, saying please forgive me. you.
So let's talk about ambitions with a band. What's your biggest ambition to do?
It's a tough question, that is. It's a really tough question. I think the ambition, without sounding too big-headed, is to be the best.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point in going into something if you don't want to be the best?
Exactly.
Like, I'm very competitive. Like, anyone who knows me or has ever come across me will know how competitive I am. And we want to be the best band around. We know that's going to be hard. We know it's going to take a lot of hard work.
A lot of competition these days as well.
Yeah, there is a lot of competition, and we always know that coming up there is going to be a band that are better than you.
Yeah.
And it is all opinions based as well. So you got to try and please everyone, which is hard to do without devaluing what you sort of want to go towards. So if someone turns around to me and says on Twitter, your new single shit, I'm not going to change my style of music just for one person.
Oh yeah,
like
true.
People are not going to like you, and
You have to kind of
people are
ignore
going to
that
like
as
you.
well.
You do, yeah. Music's like Marmite, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
You either love something or you hate something. I mean,
yeah.
my girlfriend's got a completely different taste in music to me. She goes to like raves and stuff, and she'll listen to what's in the charts, and I'll be driving in the car saying, "This is shit. Like, why have you got this on for?" And then
you need an argument, don't you?
Yeah, and then I'll play sort of like Green Day or something, or even Slipknot if you want to go a bit darker.
I'm quite shocked. Like normally girls are like into Green Day as well.
She still does like Green Day,
Yeah.
but it's just there's some songs that she's just like, what is this shit? Like, you turn it off.
Yeah.
So we do have, it is a very opinions based business, and I think a lot when I first started out, that was hard for me to take. Someone not liking me was hard to take, but now that I'm like 5 years in,
Get used to it.
just brush it off. Like, not everyone's gonna like it. If
There's
you don't,
different genres for a reason as well.
yeah. And if you don't like me, if you don't like my music, you don't like my music. That's fine. Like,
Yeah.
you haven't got to come to my show. You haven't got to stream my song. If you don't like it, you don't like it. That's,
Exactly, yeah.
That's no problem for me.
Like when you go in a record shop, you look at the stuff you want.
Yeah, you don't buy what you don't like, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
Just a moan about it, you don't do it. And that's what's funny about the social media age, is that people complain about stuff that they don't have to listen to.
Exactly.
or do. If you complain about something like football or whatever, and a player's had a bad performance, then he's had a bad performance.
Yeah.
You're still going to watch your team play football.
Oh yeah.
Whereas music's a lot different. Like, it is opinions based.
Oh,
so
yeah.
if you don't like something, why listen to it?
I know, yeah.
Like,
It's
I'm not
like-
going to sit here and listen to. I don't want to bait anyone out, but you know, something that I don't like.
I don't know. Someone in the charts for me. It's like a chart song.
Yeah,
I don't like it, but I listen to it.
People love it now, though, don't they? They just love to complain. And I love to complain
I do
as much
well,
as other
yeah.
people.
It's the most British thing to
Yeah,
do.
it is.
anyway.
Yeah, it is.
So it's like with the charts. I used to be like, turn this shit off and all that. But now, like, if it's on the radio, and it's someone's car.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I can't really say much, can I?
No, you can't.
Because
They're
it's
driving, I suppose,
their
aren't they?
music and that.
Yeah.
And but if I was in the car and I was put on my music, I wouldn't want someone to come back and complain. Like, it's I don't know. It's fun. It's a hard one for me, really.
If Hannah's listening to this, I'm still having more music on in the car. Just gonna throw that one out there.
Yeah, it's like, I think with music though, you need a bit of an open taste in music.
You
like,
do, yeah. Because there is so much good music out there from genres that you wouldn't necessarily listen to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a massive fan of grime or
I'm not.
or sort of that sort of scene or rap, like, per se.
Hip-hop.
But Eminem,
Yeah.
I love Eminem, and there's a new artist coming up through Birmingham who's doing really, really well at the moment. You might have heard of him, called Mayday.
Mayday. I think actually.
Mayday Mayo on Instagram. And his music is brilliant, and I love it, and it's in my playlist. But I don't like grime. I don't like grime, but I like his lyrics.
I prefer independent grime artists because I like it that they're doing something and it's music at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And I want to like help them get up there. I want not help them out their music
course
just because
not.
it's grime.
Yeah.
Like for me with the podcast and supporting music, I don't even like sometimes. Like, and I don't know actually. There's not a band I interviewed and dislike. 'Cause every band I interviewed I like them.
Yeah.
And even I've spoke to rap like grime artists, like independent grime artists. I'm not even into their music, but I heard it and thought, to be fair,
You can still appreciate their grind and their talent.
Yeah,
just because it's not necessarily what you'd listen to. No, I can't rap. I can't rap for anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if you can get Mayday on your podcast, I'd genuinely suggest it because I've met him a few times and he has got a lot to say and he's got a lot of knowledge as well, man.
I haven't got any grime artists yet. It's been more like indie bands, psychedelic. I can't really remember. I'd like a band on that's like garage.
Yeah.
Like 60s and 50s sound garage.
Yeah.
That was the most different podcast I had, but I'll try and put anything.
I mean, if you can branch out, like that is one guy I suggest you shout out Mayday, by the way. He's class, genuinely a class guy as well, a lovely guy, and he has a lot to say and a lot of knowledge about the industry.
Yeah.
And it would probably be good for a lot of young musicians. I'd suggest following him on Instagram because he has he puts up a lot of posts that can help musicians, and he's helped me out as well.
Yeah.
I've sent him a few messages in the past saying, have you got any advice for this or have you got any advice for that? And he won't just go, well, why are you messaging me, or ignore you. He'll come back within probably usually within the hour, and he's a busy guy as well, man. He's a busy guy, and he's always got time to help people.
Oh yeah. It's like if someone messaged me with their music, like I had it a few times, I just go even if it's a band I never heard of, I go Right, if they go, can you interview us? I go, So I had a few bands like the Jack Fletcher band popped up to me. I just went, go on.
They're no good at that, man.
Yeah, they're brilliant. They are.
I love George, man. I'm in quite close contact with George now. They supported us at our first ever band show.
Yeah.
And lovely band, lovely lads. And we got on like a house on fire, and we've got some things in the pipeline with Jack Fletcher band. I can't announce anything yet.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, we've got some things in the pipeline with Jack Fletcher band.
Talking about things coming up, like, have you got any future events and that coming up?
We've got a few that have been announced, so I'm not sure if I can announce it, but I'm going to anyway. We're playing at the Valefest launch party on Tuesday 24th of March, I believe.
Yeah.
It's a Tuesday in March, I know that much. So we're playing at their launch event, and that subsequently means we're going to have a place on the Valefest in June or July this year. Which is obviously massive for us, with student festival, which is class. And we've got a gig coming up at a new venue in Birmingham called the Grey Lantern, which looks like a class venue, and I think it opens this Friday.
Whereabouts it's based?
I'm not too sure yet. I haven't had a chance to go up and check it out because we've been busy ourselves with other things. But I'm in close contact with Ala, who's opening it, and we're going to try and get down as soon as we can to check it out and support what is going to be another great music venue in Birmingham.
At your events, do you sell your CDs and merchandise? And all
we
that?
do, it can be quite tricky. It depends on the venue a lot of the time, to be honest, and what space they've got for it. But we do. We've got a range of T-shirts and CDs, which we also sell on Bandcamp as well. Bandcamp takes a small fee of what you sell on there, but we do sell our merch.
I noticed lots of independent bands use Bandcamp as well. Like.
Yeah, it's a good site because to set up a website, it's you need a fee to pay every month, and some bands just haven't got the
especially
the income
when they're just starting as well.
Yeah, it's difficult, and it is an expense that. Of course, you need a website at some point, as sort of a focal point for everything. Yeah. But with social media now, you've got Facebook page, Twitter page, Instagram page.
That's what I use.
You can promote all your stuff on there. Not many people are going to go to your website.
Sometimes for free as well.
Yeah.
Like, it depends if you get copyrighted from music, but
it is.
Yeah, but it's good free advertising.
Yeah, I think Bandcamp's probably one of the best places because, like I say, they take, instead of having that monthly fee that you have to pay regardless, they only take something out when you get paid. A bit like eBay, with their fees.
What I like Bandcamp, I bet you have loads of other bands on there that looking at your stuff as well. So
it's good. It's a good network.
Like getting everyone together as well, like all the bands supporting each other.
Yeah, it is. It's like a network, and that's what you need, because then everyone wins at the end of the day.
Is there anything else you'd like to add to the podcast before we end?
yeah, our new single's out now. Go and check it out.
Yeah.
It's class.
It's
I
on
promise you.
Spotify and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Spotify, iTunes, all the good stuff that people still use. I would say it's on Deezer, but does anyone really still use Deezer nowadays?
I know, yeah.
I mean-
I had this one last time. Like, it's like someone was like, "Should I upload on Deezer?" And I'm like,
The distribution company that we use is a distribution company called Ditto Music that just uploads it to all providers. So
do you put it on YouTube as well? Like,
I think it automatically puts it on YouTube for you
alright.
through Ditto itself. But we are going to be releasing a lyric video for it very
that's
soon.
alright.
I'm just working on that now. As we speak today, to be fair, I was working on it this morning, so that should be out hopefully by Friday.
Have you got any suggested bands you like to suggest to the people that are listening?
How long you got? So-
As long as you like, mate.
There's so many bands that you've already done. Jack Fletcher Band, haven't you? And Alex Home. I've seen Alex
Was it
Home.
Mayhem?
Mayday is one that I definitely suggest. Grime artist from Birmingham, Candid from Coventry. If you can get them down to sunny Wolverhampton. I know they record in Wolverhampton at RML, which is not too far from the Molyneux. The Claws, if you can drag them on. What other bands you got? Carcosa. Karkosa. They're another good band. There's Idle Noise, who are also from Coventry. We could be here all day if I get suggesting bands. Miles Cheshire, another good lad. Ryan Evans, again, but you've already had him on. Jack Fletcher Band, you've already had them on. I'd say they're probably the main ones that I'd suggest, because otherwise I'll be here all day just suggesting bands to you.
Yeah, well, it's good that you like put that out as well. So
yeah, we
shout them out.
Like I say, we like to keep in touch with a lot of people on the scene and try and help out as much as we can, especially with newer artists. Like we obviously are going to know a bit more than they do because we've been doing it longer. So if you can help people out.
Especially when they're just starting as well.
Yeah, because that's what we asked for. We went round when we first started out, asking other bands their advice, and they were kind enough to give us their advice and give us some time or 5 minutes to just say, this is who you need to contact, this is where you need to be playing.
I've kind of done the same to people that are doing the same as me as well. Like some people I know, someone else knows.
Some people have got the wrong idea about it, that if you give someone advice, then they're going to take it and it might work for them and it didn't work for you. But I don't care about that. I'm not the jealous type. Like, I don't look at a band like the Claws who've just been signed by Universal and go, well, why isn't that me? Because like I'm man enough to say that
being jealous doesn't get you anywhere anyway.
Well, no, it doesn't, and I'm man enough to say that the Claws are a fucking class band that at the moment at a higher level, and they're producing better music than I am. Again, they've been doing it longer, so I'd expect no different, and we believe that we can get to their level in a few years' time, and maybe match their achievements. But you know, they're such a good band, and they're a good, really good group of lads, and it's very cliche to say it, but I know a few of them, and I know a few of them through the Candid lads as well. Yeah. And they're genuinely a lovely bunch of lads, and it couldn't have happened to a nice group who work hard. It's not like they've just dropped in the ocean and dropped in My Element and then just overnight they made it. You know, there's a lot of hard work that's gone into that, and they've put in the errors. They've worked hard. They've got the songs. They've got the look. They've got everything, and now they're still down to earth. And they could have egos the size of this building, like they could, and no one would begrudge them because they're that good.
Fair enough. Is there anything inspirational you can say to the audience?
Hard work does pay off. I mean, that's shown from what we've done. You know, 2 years ago to even a year ago, you know, I was thinking about just packing it in, because I got to a point where I was stagnating. Bands that I'd put together for my own stuff hadn't worked out, and people left, and there was arguments and all sorts. But don't give up. Yeah. Don't give up on what you think. If you think you've got a talent and you can go somewhere, work hard. Just put the work in, and you'll reap the rewards from it.
I thought I just saw Ozzy Osbourne then. I swear, someone looked like Ozzy Osbourne over there.
Probably there's quite a few people in Wolverhampton that look
Yeah.
like Ozzy, I'm not going to lie. If you're going to Planet Nightclub of a Saturday, you'll probably think you're seeing Ozzy Osbourne everywhere you
I'm
turn.
like, fuck yeah. But no, I think everyone's been through that same phase because I've got to a point when with my podcast, but now I'm putting it on YouTube. I think I'm getting more views and that now. It's like,
At the end of the day, it's just a number, and if you enjoy doing it,
yeah,
and you think you're good at it, then you should carry on, because we've had songs that have completely tanked and not done a lot of streams. It's the same on YouTube. We haven't done many views on our videos, or we don't get subscribers that much. But if you carry on grinding and you carry on doing it, and you're going to get better over time at doing it. So even if you think you're the best at what you're doing, if you carry on doing it, you're going to get better. Like, no one knows everything. So just keep sticking at what you think you're good at. Don't give up on your dreams. That is what I would say.
So follow Jack on Instagram and
Facebook, Twitter. Jack Cattell Music is the place to be. Cattell. Everyone spells it wrong.
Yeah.
So Jack Cattell Music on Facebook and Instagram. Twitter is J Cattell Music, and I think it's Jack Cattell Music on YouTube and SoundCloud as well if you want to follow us on there. I'm not sure if anyone uses that anymore.
Thanks for joining me as well.
No, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure, mate.
Yeah.
Been a pleasure.
See you soon.
Yeah. Hopefully see you at a show soon.
Yeah.
Well. Thank you, Jack Cattell, for joining me on today's episode and keeping tuned for his gigs and up and coming singles. And hopefully, we're just arranging it, but due to this thing that's going around, like, it's kind of stopping us from going ahead with it, but it will happen at some point. But Jack Cattell may join us at Stay Loose Records in Wolverhampton at some point, so that's currently we're planning that, but it's just, you know what I mean. But yeah, bit of a bad side to Crashin in now, like, due to this event that's going on. I'm sure everyone knows, but I don't really want to mention it, to be fair, but I won't be recording due to, like, everyone else is self-isolating, so I'll be self-isolating, so we won't be going out as much, meeting up with bands and that. So yeah, keep in tune for future episodes I'm doing, and it's all old episodes from last year. So yeah, I'm going to upload some of them to keep people on the scene and that. So, like, I'll be uploading episodes I've done on the first series and the second series. Yeah, so, well, it's whatever I can access as well. So yeah, like, and hopefully all on there, I really hope. So keep in tune for that, and sorry there won't be future episodes for a while due to this bastard. Yeah, I don't know, it's just a really big shame that we can't go to gigs and that, and yeah, but please people, stay safe, keep yourselves keep yourselves indoors, keep clean your hands and all that nonsense and all that. It's not nonsense, but yeah, do what that Boris says, I guess.
My name's Jack and I like to drink. The one that says when I'm on the brink, I'll always keep that head glass close by. Just a swig and I'm feeling fine. When that old guy Jack sees a friend of mine, I found that shelf problems heard, and other times it kills my concerns. With Jack, you never know which way you'll turn. Just forcing out one bottle will do, and let's see if we can drink this through. And then come around 3 or 4, I'll stumble in through my front door, and that guy Jack, he will be gone, that's for sure. Good old Mr. Daniels. Good old. Well, I'm not drinking